What's up? We're here at Uncanny Comics and Games once again. We here with the boys playing some Digimon tonight. They got Gundam also here tonight. Nobody cares about that. And so, true. And so we got a few feature matches for today. Our feature match for this video is going to be quite interesting. It's going to be against Digi Daddy himself, and then the main character, myself. And what you gonna play today, Justin, in our feature match? Perperial with the new stuff, with BT20 stuff. Now I'm not gonna say what I'm playing right now because I want to see his face when I bust out my deck. It's gonna be great, but I'll give you a little clue. I want to see how does old formats.
Oh, it
Is it competitive with the latest format? Now we probably know it ain't true, or it ain't gonna be competitive, but we're gonna find out today. Can old decks hold up to new decks? All right, let's get this game started. Okay, we are now in game one of this match, and Justin still had no idea what deck I was running. And like I said before, the whole goal of this match was to kind of see if old decks can hold up to new decks. Can decks going all the way back to 1.0 keep up with the current meta, or in this case, maybe even the future meta, as he's running Perperial with the BT20 cards. And so I'm playing, you'll see probably, or you'll be able to guess, for you veterans, you'll be able to guess what deck this is. You probably saw an intro. If you saw the intro, you probably have a good idea. But yes, that was BT01 Omni in my hand. I am playing Blue Turbo Omni from 1.0, probably the very first meta deck in Digimon. And so I've been playing since 1.0, since the day the game dropped on release day. I remember purchasing all three starter decks, and I think I bought a few booster packs on the day that it dropped, and then eventually I bought a whole box, and I've been nonstop since. And I love this game, and I know the guys that I play with all love this game. But we're all setting up. I won the coin toss. I'm not coin toss. I won the dice roll. So I'm going to go first in a second, and Justin is going to get a glimpse of what this deck is. And he honestly, I don't think he had any idea what the deck is. And so I first flip over a Wanyamon, and then I go into a rookie. I go into Elecmon, BT01 Elecmon, 2 cost rookie. It's a vanilla. That's all you really got to say. And he saw that. He picked up the mat card immediately because, again, he had no idea what this card does because Justin came into the game, if I'm not mistaken, around BT11. And so he never had the opportunity to play against some of these decks. And so I like to think that he enjoyed the match for what it was. He got to be able to see what was the Tier 1 meta all the way back in November of, 2020 is when the game dropped. And I think the official release date was like February 21 or something like that. I don't really quite remember. But regardless, mats. For those that don't know, for those that are non-veterans that may be watching this video, mats is the memory tamer. And then when you hard play a blue Digimon, you can tap it to strip the source of your opponent's Digimon. I think that's what it is. And so he goes into Shadermon, brings back the Vmon that he just trashed. It passes it over to my side, and I draw for turn. And if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me correct, I actually had the whole line to go into Omnimon. And so the play, or the goal of Blue Omni Turbo, was to be as memory efficient as possible, using Digimon with low evolution costs to ramp to Omnimon, hopefully, maybe by turn 3. And if you got the correct cards, usually you were able to do so, especially if they passed you at least 3 memory. And so, the perfect stack back in Omni 1.0 was to go into your rookie for 0 cost, and then go into a Gorillamon, which had a 1 Digivolve cost, then go into Monzimon that had a 2 Digivolution cost, and you're at level 5. Then you come out of raising, and that next turn you go into Plesiomon for 2 costs. And then you could potentially go into Omnimon for a 6 cost. And also in 1.0, we also had all 4 Hammer Sparks. Now, I updated this deck to the current meta and the current restricted list. And so there is only 1 Hammer Spark in this deck. So, usually Blue Omni Turbo was a lot faster because of this. But he's passing turn, and I am realizing that there are 2 Shadermons. They both have the same name. I can do the thing. Hear us celebrate. Shadermons, right?
Yeah.
Oh! Let's go!
Oh, you're screwed.
So me and KJ got really excited because I knew I was able to go into Plesiomon for 2 cost. And then I don't remember, do I swing first? No, because I wanted to make sure I did the thing. So I go into 1.0 Omni, and it's when Digivolving effect is select one of your opponent's Digimon and delete all the Digimon with the same name. And so I wiped his board, and that was the thing to do all the way back in 1.0. And that's it. It doesn't do enough. There's no blocker. There's nothing. And so now Omnimon does have a when attacking effect. I can return a level 6 in its sources to my hand to restand. And then I can potentially attack again. But of course, in the modern day, in the modern era, Digimon usually don't survive. And so, I don't remember if Omnimon here does survive. It might. But either way, that's all Omni really does. If I'm not, yeah, it does survive if I'm not mistaken. But we'll verify in a second. But yeah, so again, the whole goal is to get into Omnimon by turn 3. Sometimes you're able to do it by turn 2 if you had a memory setter and you had, a few Hammer Sparks in your hand. You're able to get into Omnimon in turn 2 because of how efficient the memory system or memory gaining was, especially in Blue Omni. Now, there's also a Red Omni version of this deck. I never played the Red Omni, though Fernando, one of our teammates, y'all seen him in videos, he did play the Red Omni version, and maybe he can one day give y'all his thoughts on Red Omni. Probably not. He's kind of shy. But regardless, this was an interesting matchup because, again, I've never played a modern deck with this old school deck. And even though I got rid of both of the Shadermons in the last turn, you can just see him just bringing them right back. As a matter of fact, he got 3 of them on the board now. What am I supposed to do? Go into Omni again? Yeah, okay. And so it looks like he's going to DNA Digivolve into BT20 Pyldramon. Or is that BT19? I forget. 2.5. There you go. 2.5 Pyldramon. Which then, I forget the effects off the top of my head. Okay, so he is able to suspend my guy, I'm assuming. And then he does a check. Security check. I think I'm down to 2 security cards, if I'm not mistaken. And I did survive, so I restand. Unfortunately, the Pyldramon does have retaliation. And so I can't get rid of the big boy. Or his big boy. And trust me, he was not worried about it either. And so Trying to look at my hand. I went into a rookie in the back. Was that Gabu, I think, if I'm not mistaken? I don't really quite remember, and the glare is kind of terrible. I'm reading cards because again, I have no idea what Pyoldramon does. It looks like I'm going to swing, and I'm going to do the thing where I take the level 6 and its sources back to hand and restand, and I hit a death. Is that Death Claw? And so, yes. And going back to the red version of Red Omni, it was also a fun deck. I don't really quite remember what the build was entirely, but it was essentially the same strategy using memory efficient Digimon to get into Omni quite quickly. Zoodlemon, you can see here, actually does have an inherited. You're able to gain a memory. I forgot what the conditions were off the top of my head. And then Wanyamon has a inherited as well, but it's if your opponent has a Digimon that has no sources, then draw a card on attack. But both of his Digimon have sources, so I just go back into security. I hit a Dino B, or how East likes to say, a Denobimon. And then, of course, because I only have two security left, I have one or two security left. I need to put something down that's going to hopefully um, save myself. So I put down a Grizzlymon, which has blocker. But, of course, the blocker isn't enough to save me. He swings for game because he suspends my Grizzlymon before I had a chance. And that is game one. So now I'll turn it over to Justin so that he can commentate game two and give you his thoughts on facing the very first meta deck in Digimon.
Welcome back to the channel, Digi Daddies, Digi Baddies, the Digi Lads and Lasses, the Digi Bros, and the Digi Respectable Young Women of God. Welcome back, and we're gonna get into a really interesting matchup here. It caught me off guard. Arthur just said, "Hey, let's run a game," and he had a surprise for me. So, the whole idea is, now that I know, it is can an old tier 1 deck beat a projected new tier 1 deck? Not saying either of us are great pilots, but that's the premise. So we're going to get into it. Again, I had no idea what to expect, and so I was super cautious, and yeah, I struggle to think that this was actually tier 1. Now, just to preface, I started in BT11, so this is much earlier than my time. I'm heartbreaking, bro. All right, so we drop a shade. Do you say Shadramon or do you say Shadramon? Or are you just animalistic and say like Shudramon or something like that? Let me know in the comments, because I hear it multiple ways and I'm just not sure. So, as you can see, Arthur in his hand has blue Omni cards. Now, if you're not familiar with what that is, because you aren't an OG like Arthur is, apparently, it's essentially just cheap Evo up to what Omni was back then, and a bunch of cards that will help you draw. I think the mat strips, listen, I should know this better, but it's a memory setter for sure, and I think it has a strip effect, unless that's the other mat. I don't know. But yeah, essentially the whole goal of the deck is to get up into your Omnimon, and I guess it's a big beat stick, although we'll see how it goes. So I start Evo up in the back, we swing, get a check in, and then we drop a missing memory boost to start setting up for wombo combos. This is okay. That's the thing, though. See, one deck has combos and the other one has nothing. It's the combo meal from McDonald's versus just getting a Big Mac by itself. No fries. He's gonna go up into his, I think that's a level 5 in the back, and no, 4 and then the 5. The Monzimon that Digivolves for 2. Those vanilla cards that Digivolve for 2 are really nice. Maybe not nice enough. I'm pushing up, gonna pop the boost, gonna throw down a VMon to trash a card, and draw 2, and I don't know where I go from here. I forgot. I have some options. I think I can go into my Dino B and make myself swing. I could make the VMon swing, technically, right? Looks like that's what we're going to do. So just Devo into the Dino B. I can't play anything out, but I can give something rushed and can attack a player. So we're just going to go in with the Dino B. If it dies, another mat. Yeah. If it dies, we probably would have played out a rookie just to keep searching. Looks like I'm a little bricked up. He is still in the back, bruh. It was just a different game. That was the Wild West back then, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. And he's going to Kakaida's Breath. I won't tell you what they call that in our locals. Just know it is not. It's not a very PC term. But Kakaida's Breath essentially just bounces, and that's it. It's like a 7 cost option. So Arthur still needs a level 6, and then he can go into his boss monster, which I guess that's cool. Again, this is a long time ago. Blue Omni. I guess there was a red Omni, and I'm ignorant, so just forgive me. But going up into a level 7 seems kind of barbaric. Like if that's your goal, your level 6 is vanilla, and your goal is to get into your level 7. That's hard, man. But apparently it's tier 1. So if it worked, it worked. It looks like I'm still searching. I don't have a whole lot of options, I think, because I wish I could see my trash. I didn't set up this camera, so don't blame me. There's glares. You can't see the end of the mats. You can't see what's in raising or my trash or my deck. But I mean, it's cool. It's all good. It's all good. We're going to throw that VMon into security. I think I'm still hesitant because I'm like, I haven't seen what this deck does, just that he's building something monstrosity. Some kind of monstrous stack in the back. And so yeah, I'm just really hesitant. But we're throwing down the worm. The Wormmon will evo into the Shod, and then play out another rookie to search. Now that's a mat, if I've ever seen one. A beautiful card. Normally we have these videos 2x speed, but you'll see why we don't. We probably could have the audio on for this too. I think it was just a lot of hesitating and overthinking because I had no idea. And then he just hard drops a Zudo. Oh, and then you draw. That was a good card back in the day, It's one of those things. Now you have Sistermon, you drop it for 3 and draw. And we just swing and swing. Didn't go any combos in that whole matchup. There were just nothing. Like a small fry worth of combos. But there was no supersize. There's just nothing. Just a run-of-the-mill matchup. But you know what? I hope you enjoyed it. I think just watching this game, I think there's another game, but just watching this game, no. The answer is no. Old decks, power creep exists, okay? It's a real thing. And unfortunately, Blue Omni, Red Omni, it's a thing of the past. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of this video. Wow, what a deck. That's before my time. I was just a wee lad. Just a stain on a bedsheet. So when that came out, it was interesting. It doesn't do enough.
Doesn't do anything.
That's it.
I don't know. It did something to you.
The verdict is in. Old decks, Blue Omni 1.0 cannot hang with the big boys. No longer the once meta or the once tier 1 meta deck in Digimon. 4 years ago, November 2020, midst of the pandemic, can no longer hang with the big boys. Now we got this new virus. It's no longer COVID. It's Imperial virus mode. Still from China. I need a vaccine already. Bandai, when you coming out with a vaccine, Imperial vaccine. But it was fun busting out the new deck. I got the playoff. I was able to delete both his Shader months with Omni's effect. That was good. That's a personal win in my book. So, other than that, it was fun busting out the old deck from way back when Justin was just a wee little tiny baby. Still in dad's nutsack. Anyway. They starting the Gundam tournament now. They got a pretty good turnout. But we Digimon players are gonna keep showing up. Because we show up. These Gundam players, they ain't gonna show up till July again. We gonna keep on showing up. Along here with Digi himself. We're gonna keep on bringing in new players to our Uncanny. Players like George right here. George. Welcome, George, to Uncanny. We appreciate you coming here. We got our old returning crew. We got Enrique here. What's up? We have Julian here.
Hello.
We have all the brothers.
When Digivolving
We have Jason.
As in when Digivolving.
Our TO is betraying us today. He's over there handing out Gundam stuff. Shut up. And then myself, the main character, is here, of course. I'm playing Ancient Garurumon today for the store tournament. Took round 1 against Gallant. But last time we talked about what we wanted to see on the ban list. Now I want to ask you guys, what do y'all want to see come off the ban list? What do you want to see come off the ban list, Enrique?
I'm off the ban list. What was that one card? And, crap. Oh, Pokemon. I want Pokemon.
Oh,
I want a
damn.
Pokemon. I want
What
to
is on the ban list?
What
What is on the ban list?
do you want to come? So you don't know what's on the ban list?
No.
Anubismon, that's what we want.
What do you want?
Apocally, fair and balanced.
Pokemon.
I wouldn't mind a Pokemon
Anubis.
so I can run it with.
What you want to come off the ban list or restricted list?
come off this way. Hammer Spark. Let's go.
Yes, Hammer Spark. Let's go. What you want, George?
Probably Jet Sylphie.
Jet Sylphie. I like that choice too. I can do some crazy things with some Jet Sylphie. Let's see. Nando, what do you want to come see? What do you want off the ban list?
Hammer Spark.
Okay, see, last time I didn't agree with like none of their picks or what they want on the ban list, but I'm agreeing with everything what they want off. Personally, I would like Cross 4 to come off, and there was another card. I forgot what else. Was it Hammer Spark? Oh, HPD. That's what it was. HPD. I want HPD off, and I want Cross 4 off. What you want?
BT13, Geo Greymon, the one that searches and Marcus in security. I think it's okay to bring him back. Also, Mega Digimon Fusion for the lulz.
Yes! 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 Mega Digimon Fusion needs to come back already. It's not like any decks are running hybrids anymore, right? Am I right? Did you finally figure out what is on the ban list, Julian?
No.
So you still don't have no thoughts?
I said just a Pokemon so I can run it with pizza sleeves.
That's good. That's a good pick. We got one more person to respond, but he's way over there. He's playing Gundam because he betrayed us. Red over there. What's that?
This is Shelby Red over here. Numamon X.
Numamon X. Yep, there he is. See, yep, he said it. Numamon X. Makes sense. He's a poop player. I forgot to include you, Jameson.
What's up?
What do you want to see come off the restricted list?
I don't know, I'll say something a little different. How about that, the virus Greymon X?
Virus Greymon X is on the restricted list?
Yeah, the only one
Oh,
on
that's
there.
right. The black-red one.
Yeah, take it off.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Yeah.
I can't see why it's just...
Sorry now, the playing field is even.
There we go. I like that pick. I like that pick. All these are great picks. All of them are great picks.
All right, with Gundam people, did you get any good pulls?
They did.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Well, another tournament, another loss. I don't even know what place I got this time, but we had fun. We had fun playing Ancient Guru. That deck is probably gonna be put away pretty soon. We got these Gundam players are still here.
I went to one, and that was enough for me.
It's a fun game. I'll give it to them. It's a fun game. Deck building seems like it's going to be pretty cool. The mechanics are pretty cool. We got rooted games in the house. We got rooted games. You want to tell them where they're going to be at? Where you going to be at?
Rooted Games, soft opening. It's a tentative to be on March 10th.
Oh.
Address is going to be 222 FM 359 Suite E.
Oh, let's
come check us out when we do our grand opening. There'll be plenty of events. There'll be a cookout. So we're providing food and snacks and drinks. So you look forward to it.
All right. Well, we look forward to being there too. We all gonna be there. We're gonna support Digimon. You Gundam players are gonna support Gundam. Power Rangers. What is it? Heroes of the Grid. Let's go. We're gonna build a community. We're gonna build a community even though the game is ending. Other than that, thank y'all for tuning in. We got a lot of matches coming at y'all this way pretty soon. We out. Yeah. Yeah.